Hello beauty queens and welcome back to my channel. Today's tutorial I'm going to be going through my eyebrow routine. My natural eyebrows are very thin, they're really blonde, and I have hardly any eyebrows. So most of the eyebrows you see on me are drawn in and filled in by myself. So I thought I would make a video to show you guys kind of how I do my eyebrows. So if you guys want to see how I do that, then just please keep on watching. Alright you guys, so for my eyebrows right now I am using the pencil by Anastasia Beverly Hills. I use the shade Taupe. I did used to use her Brow Wiz, but I was going through them so fast. So I switched over to the Brow Definer when that came out, and for some reason it's like after you use it for like the first week and those nice fresh sharp corners get rounded, it's just not the same anymore for me. So I did switch over to a pencil because then I can sharpen it and have it as sharp as I want, or once it gets a little bit dull it's good for like filling in. So the pencil right now is good for me. Honestly, it's what I'm used to. I usually use a pencil, so yeah, so the pencil is my jam. I do still have the Brow Definer little pencil thing because I love the spoolie on the end. It's so awesome. It's my favorite one, so I did keep it for that reason. So the first thing I do when I do my brows is I use the Brow Definer spoolie, or if you don't have this, just use any spoolie, and I just go through and I comb my eyebrows upward and just kind of shape them in their original shape, and brushing the hairs like over to the side, so I just like kind of brush them up and over. As you can see, like from what I've already done on this side to this side, I have like no eyebrows, so I have to draw them like fully in. I'll just follow my natural shape. So I'll start on the bottom and I'll usually find the hair that is out like the furthest, and that's about where I'm going to go, and then I will just follow it all the way through, like I said, just following my natural shape. And then some spots like are gonna be like sparse because I have no eyebrows, so I just kind of fill them in as well. And when I first start, I usually use a light hand to like kind of outline them, and then I'll go in and darken them up as dark as I need. And then for like the tail end of my brow, I do extend it a little bit, because again, I have no eyebrows, so I have to make some sort of length and thickness and all that kind of stuff. So in the front, up by my nose, I usually keep it, like I said, I find like the hair as far, like the furthest one out, because that's the one I know I'm gonna need to kind of know where to start, you know what I mean? So but on the tail end, I just kind of extend it, like I'll just drag it out a little bit. And then once I have kind of like a rough draft, I'll look in my mirror further away instead of this closer up one. I'll look a little bit further away and see if I like that shape. If I do or don't, I'm gonna use this spoolie again, and I'm just lightly going over that rough draft and just kind of blending it out. If I didn't like something, I would use like the very tip of it, and I'll kind of go a little bit harder and just kind of wipe it off. And then I'll go ahead and start on the top. The top, I have like absolutely nothing. My eyebrow pretty much stops right in here, so I have to add like everything and find that natural like arch of my brow. So what I do usually on the top is I'll start again at the front of my eyebrow, and I'll start just at the very top. I do have some brow here, so I know how like thick my eyebrows need to be. Back here where it gets to the arch is where I have to do a lot of the filling in. So again, I'll just start here at the top, light-handedly kind of start making the brow shape. And then I can kind of like see where my brow arch is supposed to be, and I'll just kind of start like freehanding that in there. And then another thing I do is when I bring down this arch, I usually don't go all the way to the point of my, like the tail end. What I'll do is I'll usually bring it around. Once I get around to this spot here, it comes pretty close to the tail end of it, like the very pointy, but I'll usually bring it down so I have like a nice point at the end of my brow. I'll usually bring it in just a little bit above that, so that way it'll still end with that nice good point. And I'll still like fill in my eyebrows following the same like pattern my eyebrows are going. So if these ones, like the bottom of my eyebrows are growing upward, so I'll blend them in going upward like this, Whereas right here, they start going like downward, they grow in downward. So I'll kind of follow the same way my eyebrow hairs are growing. And another thing that kind of helps me is like scowling in my eyebrows a little bit, helps me shape like the arch part for some reason. So that might help you as well, making different like shapes, like maybe raising your eyebrows might help you, scowling them, doing whatever you have to do to kind of get them to work with you. You'll find what works for you the more that you practice on your own self. So now that I have them fully filled in, I'm gonna go ahead with the spoolie again and just brush them up and outwards. And this just blends them in, and this will show me where there's still like a little bit of patchiness in there where I need to fill it in so it's a solid eyebrow. Okay, so now that I'm done with my eyebrow, I'm gonna take that spoolie one more time and just kind of lightly brush through them again, kind of blend everything in. And then the next thing I do is I take the spoolie and I just go along the bottom line, and I'm just making sure that there is no like extra, so it kind of gives it more of like a clean line. It just kind of cleans up my lines because I'm not going to go in. I already have my full face on. My eyebrows usually are the second to last thing I do, so I can't go in and clean them up with concealer like other people would do. So I just use the spoolie and go along the lines of the top and the bottom with a really light hand. It just kind of clean them up, and I'll also run just my finger through just to make sure there's no like spoolie marks, and just make sure everything on my eyebrow is smooth. After I'm done like lining and filling in my brows, I'm gonna use a highlighter to highlight my brow bone. The highlighter I've been using is out of the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's her color Beam. I can show you it. It's this one here. And I'm just going to take a little bit of that one to highlight the brow bone. And what I do is just take this on, it's a Morphe M506, and I will blend and buff this into the arch of the brow, is where most of that pigment's going to be at. And then I will also fill it in and just kind of work it into the entire brow, because I like to have a full brow highlight. Some people will just highlight the arch and that's it, and that's fine. Most of my pigmentation does go there into the arch, but I also do blend it out fully under the whole brow. Then the next thing I do is just take a clean like blending brush. This is the M504, and I'll just go through and close my eye and very lightly buff the colors in, so that way it's all blended into my eyeshadow and it's not just like a line there. So then the next step I do is I take a brow gel. This one is just by Morphe, and I just kind of run this through. Hardly any product on there. I kind of wipe a little bit off because I don't want like a gel look. So I just go through and just very gently kind of buff these the same way I do when I shape them. So I'll just kind of go up and outward and follow the natural shape of my own eyebrows. And by doing that, and then I'll let that dry, and when I feel like it's just about dry, for some reason that gel shows me, like, I don't know if it like wets them, so then I can see really what is there. I can see like there's a big patch right here that's like not as dark as the rest of my brows, so I'll just go through as it's drying and fill in those little patches. And like I said, usually it's around this arch because I am using, it's usually all product right there. There's not really any eyebrow hairs there, so I think a lot of it just keeps getting like wiped away. I have noticed that using that brow gel does help keep product there, because I think using this while it's still drying kind of connects itself to that brow gel, so it holds the color there. Okay guys, and that is it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a huge chubby thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Until my next video, I will see you guys later. Bye.